Nice to see you again. Dealing with reporters. Some of these little quick stories bring a smile to my face, although at the time they could be called evil. But it happened many years ago in Belfast. I've never told the story on television, never once. I wrote it in our book, which is called None of These Things Move Me. But I'll be brief. But you listen to this because this is exactly like it happened. I'm going to tell you about a lamp, about a coat, and about a house or a home, a lamp. Many years ago, before we lived in America, we were visiting America. And my wife and I went into what's called a Kmart. It's a well-known store. Certainly it was at that time. And I remember we bought a lamp, one of these round lamps that has a chain and it's attached to the ceiling like this. And I remember the price of it. It was $13, including the chain and the wire. And I believe we had to change the wire. But anyway, I can't remember that part totally. Anyway, we came back to Belfast in our home, which was on Ben Madigan Heights. And I got some friend to put it up there for me in the corner of the room. So there was our nice $13 lamp. Sometime after that, the television people there asked, could they do an interview with me? I said yes, and they said, could we do it in your home? I wondered why. But anyway, I said yes. Didn't make any difference to me. And my mind is a bit fuzzy only in this part, that I went out of the room apparently at one time, and my wife or somebody saw them quickly taking a shot of this lamp. Didn't seem to make sense. But when the program came out on television, this was a feature. They talked about the lamp, and they said, Leslie got this lamp in America, and it's held up by a solid gold chain. It was a total and complete and absolute lie. They never even asked about it. That was to put us over looking bad, as if we were taking a lot of money and spending on a gold chain. It makes me laugh now, the stupidity of some reporters. It's disgusting how they'll do anything, sell their soul to get a ratings or to embellish a particular story. But there it was, in all its glory, $13 US money, the solid gold chain, and it became a feature. Let me tell you about the coat. I got tired of hearing many questions and rumors back then, 35 years ago. And so I called a press conference. I gave the people biscuits and tea. The reporters who came, several came. There they're all sitting out, and I get up at the front, and I said, this is a press conference. You want to know anything about our ministry? Go ahead and ask what you want. So I answered several questions to the point where I said, finally, any more questions? No. And everybody seemed happy, and they were standing around afterwards drinking coffee, or tea rather, and eating the biscuits, or cookies, they say here in America. But the way it ended was this. A fellow was sitting on the front row. I even remember his name, but I'll not give it. He was sitting in the front row, and when I said any more questions, and people shook their head, these reporters shook their head, written reporters and radio and television reporters. Anyway, this fellow said, Leslie, I have a question. He was sitting in the front row, and I said, yes. He said, that's a pretty nice suit you've got. Where'd you get it? And I wanted to be honest. I'm not very into clothes and things. My wife Maureen looks after all that, so I didn't know where I got it, but I wanted to be dead accurate. So I opened my coat like this and looked at the label. And I said, Florida. I said, we must have bought it in Florida at some time when we were visiting there. And I remember he nodded back at me and said, it's very nice, Leslie. I said, thank you. And the whole press conference was over. Nobody said another word. The next morning, the newspaper, a big photograph this size of me with my jacket open and pointing to the label with the headline, Leslie Hale has his suits personally tailored in Florida, and he flashes the label to prove it. That's wrong. That's wrong. A lot of reporters are going to have to repent if they've got, as we say in Ireland, a dog's chance of getting into heaven. I'm not saying they're all like this, but certainly I met a few of them. Then one last quick story. We were building or buying fields or something to build in outside of Belfast. I can't remember the details. But anyway, in the Ulster Hall, we were going to receive a large offering. I remember it was announced ahead of time what the goal was. The very police were there. And I remember in some factories, they were actually taking bets on whether we would get it or not. Anyway, we got the money. It was huge. And we were able to buy the fields or whatever it was. All that's fine. Well, the year before, we had been in Florida and we had bought a home, which we would use as a vacation home for us and for friends in Florida near Disney World. And we paid, like everybody else, a small deposit and we got a mortgage. By sheer coincidence, the offering in Belfast was in the month, let's say it was the month of March. I can't remember. And we bought the home in the month of March, but the year before. But when it came out on television, what they said was, emphasizing, let's say the 1st of March. Leslie Hale raised all this money in Belfast on the 1st of March. And then he bought a house in Florida on, let's say, the 30th of March, giving the clear impression that we had taken that money and bought a house in Florida with it, which was a 100% lie. And of course, we had no way to reply. It was ugly, it was filthy. We put up with that kind of garbage for so long. Like when they said we left Ireland with thousands and thousands of pounds. No, we had between $400 and $500 when we got here to America. But that's what the enemy does. But they absolutely knew that it was a coincidence, it was the same month, but we got our house not after we got the offering, the year before, with a small down payment and a mortgage. So I've had some dealings with reporters. I think I've met 2 who were honest. God help the rest. See you next time.